Hi, this is Ian Westerman. I'm the head pro at EssentialTennis.com, where it's my mission to bring passionate instruction to passionate tennis players just like you. Welcome to episode number 41 of Ask Ian. Today we're going to be answering a question from Robert, who wrote to me on, not on Facebook, on YouTube, and said, "Hi Ian, is it good to learn to play tennis with your other hand?" Well, generally speaking, no. It's not a good idea, and I do have two exceptions to that, actually. The reason for that, Robert, is based largely in how biologically the learning process works when we're trying to master some kind of physical discipline like tennis and be able to reliably execute some kind of learned physical skill consistently again and again at whatever highest level it is that we've learned how to execute that skill. What really has helped my understanding of this a lot is a book by Josh Waitzkin called The Art of Learning, which is probably, for me, top 5 probably book that I've read. I'm not big into fiction. I'm more into self-help and learning and how learning works and business and success and entrepreneurship and that sort of thing. But in this book, he really dives into what it takes to become an elite performer in multiple different disciplines. Josh was a chess prodigy as a young kid, world champion, several times as a chess player, and then shifted to martial arts and actually became a world champion in push hands. And he was the first, I believe, the first American ever to get a world championship in push hands. I'm forgetting the discipline right now. Anyway, it was dominated by Korean competitors up until that point. And so he goes through and really systematically lays out how he took what he learned from chess and transferred it over to a physical discipline like a martial art. And just what he discovered was fascinating. And bottom line is it takes a lot of very, very focused and purposeful repetition in order to, in a very specific way. Just hitting forehands won't give you an incredible forehand. It has to be done in a certain way with a certain focus within a certain percentage of your current ability as far as level is concerned, et cetera, et cetera. And this is really hard, focused, disciplined work, each of these repetitions. So he outlines this, and that is the only way to quickly master some kind of physical skill. So when you take kind of all that perspective and that approach, and you try to apply it to two different tennis games, the one on the left side of your body and the one on the right side of your body, you are taking your time and your focus and your concentration, and you're dividing it into two. So the best you can hope for is mediocre results at both. To expect to be able to perform up to your potential on both at the same time, in my opinion, is completely, there's really no way that could possibly happen. Unless this is like your full-time endeavor, you don't have a job, you don't have a family, and you go train 6-8 hours a day on a tennis court. Even then, I'm not quite sure that it would be physically possible. Maybe somebody could prove me wrong on that. I'd like to see them try to actually put that to the test. So yeah, generally speaking, my answer to that is no, it's not a good idea for the reasons I just laid out. A couple exceptions. I have seen players, when injured really badly, learn how to play with their opposite hand. And it's not that they're training both hands at once, it's that they have a shoulder surgery, their rotator cuff gets blown out. They can't serve any longer. And so they train themselves how to, I've seen this several times, train themselves how to serve opposite-handed, and then they play the rest of their game with their original hand. Or I've also seen several times where they really can't use that arm at all anymore, and they have to completely switch over to the other side. So that would be one reason to learn with your other hand. The other exception to this would just simply be that you don't really especially care about what your peak performance is. You're not driven by results. You're not driven by success, as far as wins and losses. And if that's the case for you, that's totally fine. Different people are really competitive when it comes to that. Other people don't care. They just want to have fun. They just want to go out onto the courts and just have a good time, get some exercise, have the challenge of trying to learn on both sides how to play tennis. I mean, which is a huge challenge. So if you're totally satisfied in and of itself, satisfied with the challenge, then fine, go ahead and do that. If you're serious about finding out how good of a player can I possibly be, then no, I would never recommend learning with both sides. So hopefully that makes sense. The essential question of the day, non-tennis related question today. What is your dream location to live? If you could pick up and relocate to anywhere in the world, where would it be? I haven't traveled outside the U.S. enough to really give a very good answer outside the U.S. But inside the U.S., I would have to say somewhere in California, just because there are so many different locations that give you different climate, which is something I really appreciate. I like having the 4 seasons, but in Wisconsin, where I have to go like a good 6 months, solid 6 months, without really being able to do much outside, without being able to get sun, which for me is a huge downer. In California, you've got LA. I wouldn't personally ever want to live in LA, but just 2.5 hours from LA, you have the desert, and a couple hours from there, you have San Diego, which is like 78 degrees every single day, and then you've got wine country, and you have all these different climates. I think that would be really cool to be able to, just within a couple hours, be able to experience so many different climates around the calendar here. So let me know what it is for you. What's your ideal place to live? Any other general comments or questions, leave those down below as well. If you've enjoyed this video, please click like and also subscribe to the Essential Tennis YouTube channel so you don't miss out on future videos. With that, thank you so much for watching today. Take care and good luck with your tennis.